Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We're finally doing our Fiddlesticks video on the channel. Now, I've only reacted to his voice lines. That was one of the very first reactions I did for League of Legends, but I need to get more of his story. We did also do a reaction to Necrit's video about demons, if you want to check that out, but I just need to know a little bit. I feel like I know a lot about Fiddlesticks, but maybe I'll learn a lot more here if we go into the biography and story for him, and then check out some of his gameplay and, you know, any other cinematics he might be in. Again, we've only done the voice lines video for him, so we will do also the Legends of Runeterra voice lines. I believe he has those, and the interactions that Skin Spotlights has up on YouTube. Please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy this reaction. All right, starting off with his biography page. It's called The Ancient Fear. He is called The Ancient Fear. It's hunting us and knows what we're afraid of. Unknown victim. Now, of course, I know Fiddlesticks voice lines or quotes, the only way he talks is through the, you know, the last words or screams of his victims, right? All right, taking a look at the related champions, it's Nocturne and Shaco. Oh, you know what? Shaco has not been mentioned whatsoever to me, I feel like, either in comments or anything. Nocturne I know, but I know Nocturne's like old and kind of needs a rework before we go ahead and react to Nocturne. Shaco's also a demon, right? I could totally be wrong, actually. Role is Mage, region is Runeterra, obviously, and then role of being mage is kind of interesting to me, by the way. All right, and then the paragraph here says, something has awoken in Runeterra, something ancient, something terrible. The ageless horror known as Fiddlesticks stalks the edges of mortal society, drawn to areas thick with paranoia where it feeds upon terrorized victims. Wielding a jagged scythe, the haggard makeshift creature reaps for itself, shattering the minds of those unlucky enough to survive in its wake. Beware the sounding of the crow or the whispering of the shape that appears almost human. Fiddlesticks has returned. Where'd he go? Where did Fiddlesticks go in the first place? All right, let's go ahead and fully get into the biography. This should be hopefully interesting. I feel like with the demons, though, it's all still like a mystery, but maybe we'll learn something here. Long, long ago, in a tower by the edge of the sea, a foolish young mage summoned something into the world that he was not prepared to control. Oh, a young mage summoned this person? Summoned this demon? What stepped before the boy was something older than recorded history, something darker than a yawning, starless night. Something the world had desperately tried to forget, and in an instant, the mage, the creature, and the tower itself were lost to all of time. At least that's what the stories say. In the Freljord, children frighten each other around the fire with tales of a monster that raises itself from untended graves in the ice, its body a shambling mass of helmets, bucklers, furs, and wood. In Bilgewater, drunken sailors trade accounts of something standing alone on a tiny distant atoll from which no one has ever returned. An old Targonian legend speaks of how a child of twilight stole the only joy from a ragged, whispering horror, while veteran Noxian soldiers prefer the fable of a lonely farmhand who was blamed for a poor harvest and fed to the crows, later returning to the world as a demon. It's always fun learning about like the different regions having different like stories or lore about these kinds of like, you know, like about demons and whatnot, right? Demacia, Ishtal, Piltover, Ionia, Shurima, in every corner of Runeterra, these myths persist, reshaped, respun, and passed down by countless generations of storytellers. Stories of a thing that looks almost human and stalks places thick with fear. But these are simply fables to frighten young children. No one would ever be afraid of a silly old monster called Fiddlesticks until now. Something has awoken in the Demacian hinterlands, drawn by the climate of rising fear and paranoia. Rural protectorates, separated from the capital by hundreds of miles of farmland, are emptying in mere days. Travelers vanish from the old footpaths, guard patrols fail to report back from the edges of the kingdom, and wild-eyed survivors claw at their faces from the safety of a roadside taverns, wailing of crows that aren't crows, sounds that aren't sounds, and a lopsided horror in the shape of a scarecrow that croaks in the stolen voices of the dead. I don't know what it is about scarecrows. I think scarecrows actually kind of frighten me IRL too, right? Most blame rogue mages. Such accusations are common in these days of rebellion. Yet the truth is far worse. Something has returned, just as it had in the fictitious tale of the young mage in his seaside tower. An evil gone from the world for numberless centuries, long enough that the warnings of a nascent humanity passed into rumor, then myth, then legend, until all that remained were simple fables. I want to know how this mage summoned Fiddlesticks all of a sudden. An entity so utterly alien that it defies almost all contemporary knowledge of magic, so impossibly ancient that it has always been. So universally feared that even animals grow nervous when someone speaks its name. That's crazy. In the wake of this revival, another tale, nearly lost to a memory, has seen a resurgence throughout the hinterlands. A legend of a great evil that has no form, no thoughts, and no understanding of the world it inhabits, instead building itself into the crude shape of those that fear it. The terror of all living things, given life in that first terrible scream of creation, a demon before demons were known. At least that's what the stories say. But Fiddlesticks is real. What a last sentence to put in there. A quick question, or I guess a couple of other things. Do we know anything about this random young mage that summoned Fiddlesticks somehow? Do we know anything about that? Probably not. And then my other question would be, I feel like the whole Demacia's fear of like mages and magic and stuff, is that partly to do with the resummoning of Fiddlesticks? Obviously, probably not, but it probably, you know, helps feed Fiddlesticks, right? Just, you know, their fear of magic and mages and whatnot. Obviously, there's fear throughout all of Runeterra, but, you know, I know like Demacia as a whole city is pretty much fearful of mages and magic and stuff, right? All right, that was a very quick biography. I loved it. Let's go ahead and move on to the story. All right, our story here is called Voices. 10 great kings took 10 great thrones. 9 crowns adorned 9 heads. 1 left to scratch upon their mounts. The crow, alive and dead. An old Demacian poem, author unknown. The crow, alive and dead. Okay. It started when old Hubbard, drunk out of his mind on stale mead and the dulled memories of some battle he'd probably run from, locked himself in a shack just outside of Goldweald. Davil tried to break the door in, good neighbor as he was, but the miserable fossil had more strength than anyone could have anticipated, bracing his entire body against the entrance as he babbled about heights and spiders and being pecked to death by birds. No one believed the man was being pecked to death by anything but a bottle, so we all went home, assuming, as one does, that with a day to dry out, the ordeal would sort itself. Took only one night. First scream ripped across the village like someone had pulled it out of Hubbard's open chest, followed by a second that was almost the same, but worse. It pitched higher. Oh crap, hold on. The second was almost the same, but worse. That's so scary. It pitched higher, like rusted metal wrapped in burlap, in almost human words with an almost human rhythm, until the baker's wife cried, "Mages!" and all hell broke loose. People arming themselves, the mayor, if that's what you would call the head of some hinterlands pistol, shooing whoever he could into the meeting hall. Windows being boarded up in a blind panic, the works. You've seen it 100 times, probably 200 since the Claw hit up north. Well, they call it the Claw in like capital C. Regular folks going mad at the fairest hint of magic. Okay, that goes back to what I was saying about like Demacia. Just everybody being afraid of, you know, magic and mages. Point is, that's around when everything went bad, but there's a bottom to bad, and what happened in Goldweald broke right past it. Don't believe me? Go for yourself. Goldweald ain't there anymore. I believe it. But I'm skipping ahead, and that ain't fair to Davil. See, Davil was a spy from back when the Freljord pacifications were still talked about like there was honor in them, and he later served the crown as far out as Shurima and the Blue Flame Isles. The man had seen things. We're lucky out west, since the worst the hinterlands have to offer are some stray raptors after the hatching season, and maybe a sun-cooked bandit or 3, but Davil knew what was out there, what could be out there, and he gathered up all the folk who were willing to listen and organized a peasant militia to bring those supposed mages to justice. Oh boy. Well, that's going to be a slaughter. His plan was simple. First light, we're all going on patrol, 2 by 2, no one alone. Military stuff, and that gives us hope. Gins us all up for a fight. For king and country, rah-rah, Demacia and all that. Until the sun comes up and a family's gone missing. Every one of them, 5 in all. Farmhouse torn to shreds, livestock slaughtered in their pens, doors all locked from the inside, windows all latched. They're gone. The mayor calls a meeting, but a pair of field hands don't come in from the rows. When Davil calls for them, something calls back. But it isn't them. Oh, that's so scary, man. Sounds almost like them, like something is forcing words into almost the right shape, but that old rusty cage sounds keep cutting through, squeaking and rattling and clicking like it can't help itself. Dude, I love this description of Fiddlesticks doing the voices. Now people are afraid. Some hothead charges into the fields with a sword in his hand, gone. Another follows him, gone. Blacksmith gets the wise idea he'll ride all the way to Amberfell and call the guard, but the horse bucks him halfway down the old trade road and something pulls him into the rows. This is like a horror movie. Davil calls to see if he's all right, and that awful voice burbles out, saying it'll take the road to Amberfell and call the guard. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Davil asks again, and it repeats, I'll take the old road to Amberfell and call the guard. I'm not even going to try to imitate Fiddlesticks' voice. There's something about it, like a pin twisting inside your head, poking through the meat into something darker underneath. I could see it on everyone's faces. Folks holding their kids close, backing away toward their homes, some just running. That voice could cut away all the parts of a person and leave them naked and afraid, shivering in the middle of a blistering afternoon, like it was pulling something out of you, something it wanted. The little girl says she saw someone standing above the field out where we keep the scarecrow. It's such an odd thing to notice, and there's so much going on that we pay her no mind. But we should have. Night comes and half the houses in town are boarded shut. You can hear folks inside whispering, muttering, giggling like maniacs, but about, I'm not sure. Snakes, lightning, the dark, walls closing in, knives, the sea. They're laughing and they're screaming, and it sounds like everyone has gone insane, like they're trapped inside a room with a part of themselves they don't want to face. It sounds like we're all stuck in a nightmare. Then the lights start going out, one after the other in all the boarded up houses. The lamps flicker and die, and the voices melt away, each suddenly silenced, all save for one, something croaking behind the old smithy, muttering to itself about snakes, about lighting, and muttering about the dark. Davil, that poor fool, takes the militia and goes in, and I'm there with him. I have my blade, I have my lantern, but the rows are deep and the light casts shadows everywhere you look. I don't know exactly what happened. I saw a face, maybe, something looking back at me just ahead of Davil, but it was like he saw right past it, like that face was just there for me. All lopsided, twisted sackcloth and rusted teeth, and behind it something huge, splayed out on thin legs but alive with hundreds of black birds rattling inside an old cage we'd thrown into the woods last year. And eyes, so many eyes. There's no one left in Goldweald now. If no one came after me, I'm the only one left. Hearing those screams fade behind me as crimson light poured out from between the cornstalks, that sickly crunching and the bellowing tortured squeals of hogs and horses. Now I'm wondering, in this story, obviously Fiddlesticks likes to hunt at night, but can he also hunt during the day? I imagine, right? And the crows, hundreds of them, thousands, but crows they aren't. Can't you see? They're smoke and fire. They're not real. They couldn't be real. They follow that voice, the deep rumbling voice beneath it all. Don't you see? Don't you? Oh gods, Davil, I left him behind. I left him there in the rows with that horrible scarecrow. Everyone, they're all dead. Gods, it must have followed me. Once it tastes your fear, once it knows you, it never lets go. It won't let you go. It won't. What's that voice? Can anyone hear? You don't hear it? Davil? Oh man. Now I know Fiddlesticks did have like a rework done to him, right? Where he was like definitely more scarecrow-like, but now he's a little bit more, I don't know. He is rusted metal, like it was mentioned in here and with the voice and everything. But I know he had like a rework with his look and everything. And then I think the voices, the voice lines, I don't know if they've been updated or whatnot, but I know his look has been changed and updated for sure. I mean, nothing really else to say about this story. It was, it's a good way of showing what Fiddlesticks is capable of. It was a very good story in showing how scary he is and how he can just take out a whole, this was like a little small village, of course, right? It had a mayor and everything still, but it, it was clearly not the main city of Demacia or anything. I don't know how Fiddlesticks would fare in like a major city like Demacia or Noxus or Piltover or anything like that. I don't know if, we don't know. It's kind of curious that Fiddlesticks hasn't tried going into those places. Maybe it's because there's too many people. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got out of the story. It's very scary. We know Fiddlesticks is a super scary character, and I'm just excited to see what else we got for him. All right, before we go any further, I of course need to react to the Terror in Demacia cinematic. I've already seen it, but I want to react to it again before we go any further, just so you know what I mean. We kind of get like pumped up for the rest of the reaction here. So let's go ahead and check it. Now, this was only 3 years ago, so his rework was about 3 years ago. Okay.
Not extra watch.
Whole countryside's on edge after Fossbarrow.
Yeah.
Fossbarrow.
Filthy mages.
Countryside.
They show up here.
Oh, see, these soldiers are thinking it's mages that are doing it, but it's Fiddlesticks. Just like the story.
Show up here, and I'll come. Tedric?
Dude, he's so fast.
Hey, Tedric.
See, you notice the voice is like totally...
Tedric!
Oh, what are those noises it's making? So now, hold on. This like dusty Thanos-y stuff, is that just like part of his abilities? Or like, how does that work? Okay. Pause. Okay, so you see his face go down a little bit. It was like up a little bit. And it's, oh, look, you can even see red here. And you can tell the voice is totally different, right? Dude, he looks so scary. So here, he's like all metal, yeah? Dude, that is so scary, man. He's so fast. Oh, and the way he says his name is crazy. All right, hold on. Let's go back. I want to like look a little bit more at him here. Is this him with his, okay, his mouth is open and this is totally his tongue being, like he sticks his tongue out. He's like screaming in the air with his tongue out. And you can see like the shadow of the crows above as well. The way he says fiddle is weird. And then Sticks is like raspy. Man, what a good cinematic this is. This is one of the best cinematics for this. I mean, this is a really good champion to have a really good cinematic for, that's for sure. All right, let's continue on. We're going to do his champion, preview and like his spotlight and stuff like that so we can learn how he actually plays. All right, here's the gameplay preview. Again, this was from 3 years ago. There he is. Okay, I just want to pause and like get a better look at him. Yeah. Oh man, so what was all changed? What did they like completely change to his character? Did they change like a lot, or was it just a little bit? Because I'm not gonna know how old Fiddlesticks played. A harmless scarecrow, yeah, right. Terrify, bountiful harvest. Again, we're gonna watch the full spotlight, but this is still cool to see. Reap, okay. So far he looks like sort of easy to play. Crow Storm. Oh, it's just like an AoE ultimate. Okay, fair enough. Oh, we're seeing some other skins. I don't even know what kind of skins you could do for Fiddlesticks. Oh, that one with the pumpkin makes sense. Yeah, we'll have to see what kind of skins. Wait, a birthday one? Oh no, or like a cake one? All right, yeah, let's just go ahead and move on to the full gameplay spotlight. All right, looks like we're gonna be doing the login theme next, actually, because it doesn't look like Fiddlesticks has a champion spotlight. They did one like 11 years ago, and they didn't decide to do a new one when they did the little preview. So all we really get, unfortunately, is the preview. All right, let's take a look at his champion theme here. It's 2.5 minutes. I don't know how I'm gonna judge this one. I feel like it's not gonna be a regular theme. Hold on. What is happening? Oh, it's turning eerie. As the crows make night of the fading sun. Dude, the singing is creepy. Hide now. Hide now. We usually don't get singing when it comes to a theme. There's usually none, right? This is kind of cool. I like the concept art we're getting. How do we feel about this little child singing? Okay, they're just singing about like hiding and running and staying down. We're gonna take a look at the skins next here, but too late. Whoa, they showed like the demon symbols that I've seen before. Whoa, look at the face on the spectral Fiddlesticks. Okay, that's pretty terrifying. That's a Christmas one? Yeah, no thank you. Woo. Oh, and it just abruptly ends? Yo, I wasn't ready for this. I don't think I was ready for this. I just reacted to Zoe's champion theme before this one. Yeah, I don't think I was ready for that. I was not ready for that. Okay, well, you know, I mean, I gotta applaud Riot again for, of course, making a champion theme fit the character pretty perfectly. So what it sounded like to me was a mom and maybe possibly their son or daughter. I can't really tell because, you know, children's voices are a little bit, when they're real young like that, you can't really tell sometimes. Singing about running and hiding, staying down, basically, yeah. I mean, it was real creepy. Now, when it paused here and then it like dropped, that scared the crap out of me. Okay, it almost sounds, I want to say like the end here almost sounds like screams. Like, I guess maybe you could say that they're totally not. But I mean, I feel like maybe because I'm interpreting them as screams that, like, you know, maybe that's kind of what the devs were going for, or the Riot music team was going for. I don't know. Yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on the champion theme. I think it's pretty good. So what's cool though is they actually did one for him when they did his rework 3 years ago, because this is champion themes only from 3 years ago. So, you know, he's an older character because I saw the video for his champion spotlight's 11 years old. So I'm really glad that they ended up doing a champion theme when they did his rework. I thought it was really good. I don't know if it's I don't think it's anywhere near one of my favorites, you know, like the Jin one or like some of the other ones that we've listened to, like Camille's and stuff. But no, this is still very, very good. You know, again, I haven't seen Riot Music really drop the ball whatsoever. But yeah, this isn't one that I don't think I'm going to add to the Spotify playlist because I don't think there's any need for me to do that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out his skins next, though. All right, so we've seen like a little preview of some of the skins on like the champion preview, and then like with the concept video there for the login screen. But let's get a full dive in here. I'm going to try to pick my top 3. I want to know what your favorite skin is in the comments. Please let me know. All right, the original. The original's good, right? Like, that's his main concept here. I think it's a really good one. All right, so that was the 2009 skin. Holy, okay. All right, now 2010, we have Spectral. The concept for Spectral looked really good for me, even though it's a 2010 skin. Like, in my opinion, it looks really good. We'll put it in the top 3 for now. The face is crazy. It's like sucking the souls out of everybody. That's really cool, in my opinion. Obviously, I think it makes sense to have more Halloween-type skins for his character, so that's probably what we're going to get. Although the Christmas one looked really scary. All right, we have Union Jack. Okay, I can see how this works. Yeah. So, and the little description here just says Pip Pip Cheerio. Do we have an in-game version of it? No, we don't get to see it. Okay. I don't know if it's my fave. Let's keep going on, though. Okay, we have Bandito. Okay, so it's just like him as a bandit. I mean, it probably looks fine in-game. It looks, yeah, here we go. Let's take a look. Yeah, I mean, it looks good in-game. But I think we're going to have better ones. Let's keep looking on. This one, see, now Pumpkinhead makes absolute sense to me. It just works perfectly. It's basically just another version of a Halloween like icon that you can think of, like, you know, along with scarecrows, you have Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead's going to go in the top 3 for sure. And then we'll probably end up changing, but let's keep going. Fiddle Me Timbers. I like the creative name they did for him. So I will say this is like their Bilgewater version. It looks pretty good. Let me see. Is it in-game? No in-game. I think it looks pretty good. Is it worthy of taking out Spectral? When did this come out? Also 2010. Oh, wow. Do we have any newer skins? These are all pretty old, huh? They did a lot of skins for him in 2010. It's not going to take anything out of the top 3 for me yet. Okay, 2011, they came out with Surprise Party. So it's like a clown version of him. Ooh, everyone told you hiring a clown would be a good idea. Clowns are great for parties, they said. But now everyone's missing and the power is out and something's laughing just down the hall. You know, this reminds me a little bit of, I don't know, I guess Five Nights at Freddy's maybe. Not really. I mean, obviously clowns just in general, like It and things like that, Pennywise. Is this worthy of taking out another? I think maybe we take out the... No. Okay, let's keep going on. I might change here at the very, very end. Okay, yeah, so the Dark Candy one. There's something about it that's just real spooky. It just scares me, man. Like the zoom in on the face when they were showing it in the login screen video, it was really scary. I think we got to put this in the top 3 along with Pumpkinhead. And, you know, I'm going to take Spectral out. Let's put Original still in there. Spectral's really cool design, but I don't know. I think these two are better. All right, next we have Risen. Oh, it's a mummified version of him. Okay, that's a really cool concept. I'm glad they did that. They're just thinking of like any kind of like creature or like even thing from like Scooby-Doo or something at this point, right? Because, you know, Scooby-Doo, there would be like a clown or a mummy and things like that. I think it's a good concept. Not my favorite skin, though. Oh, when did that come out? 2015. So there was a big gap here from 2012 to 2015. No new skins for Fiddlesticks. In 2018, they did Praetorian. Okay, so it's like a mechanized... You know what it looks like? Oh, wait, Praetorian. Is this Alien? Is Praetorian? Remembrancers' worst fears have been realized. Emerging from tears in the fabric of space-time, hordes of faceless robotic marauders appear across the multiverse. It looks almost... I think it's just the tongue. It's definitely just the tongue that's making it. And then like the face of his mech here looks like an alien, you know, from the Alien series, but obviously like a mechanized version. It's kind of cool. I like mechs. I like Alien. Let's look at the last one before we decide. We have Star Nemesis. So is this, it's part of the Star Guardians. Okay, the creature known as Fiddlesticks has fed on Star Guardians across every era. hunting those on the verge of falling before finally consuming their light. Wow. Talk about a scary thing still in the Star Guardian universe, even though everything in the Star Guardian universe doesn't look creepy whatsoever. All right, let's see it in game. It looks pretty good. I like the colors, but I don't know if it's really, it's not really Fiddlesticks. It's a little too much. It's like too neon glowy for me. Let's go back to this one, the Praetorian. Oh, I didn't even realize the arm is like a different color. Oh, they totally did like a different colored arm here for the lantern arm. I don't know if that's going to take the top 3 for me. Okay, let me see Dark Candy. There isn't a Dark Candy one. I might be going with the older skins here, guys. Okay, no. I have to do this. I think I'm going to do the Praetorian skin. I'm going to do the Dark Candy. And then I'm going to do right here, Dark Candy. And then I'm going to do the Pumpkinhead. I think Pumpkinhead is probably my favorite. The Dark Candy probably being my second. And then like the newer ones, this one's a little bit different for Fiddlesticks. Usually the newer skins, I tend to like the newer ones just because Riot has just gotten a little bit, they've changed their style a little bit with the newer skins. They're a little bit more updated versus the older ones. But I think I actually like the older ones for Fiddlesticks. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, though, what your favorite skin is. A question I've never also asked is, what skin, okay, when I'm looking at all these skins, is there a skin that you guys usually see when you're playing against somebody using Fiddlesticks or somebody on your team's using Fiddlesticks? Because usually when you see a character or a champion in a game, I'm going to use Overwatch again as an example, there's usually a skin that you will see a person using. Not necessarily. For example, like Mercy is a very popular character in Overwatch, and there's a bunch of skins for her, but you will generally see like maybe 4 to 5 different skins for her that most people will use, right? You guys let me know if that's like a thing for Fiddlesticks as well. All right, so now we're taking a look at the Fandom character wiki page for him. Let's see, we have disappearances and the return. Despite many tales and stories about Fiddlesticks, its existence was treated as myth by many until disappearances and sightings started happening in the Demacian hinterland. This was Fiddlesticks attracted to the rising fear and paranoia among the people of Demacia. See, that was my question when we were reading the biography for him, and I was right. I was like pretty on the nose about that. It was like the fear of Demacians and about mages and magic, right? That kind of brought him back. Obviously, the mage that summoned him helped too. And then, Fiddlesticks had returned and was coming to cause chaos. All right, so appearance. Fiddlesticks is mostly known as a shambling figure of scrap and shadow, somewhat resembling a scarecrow. A torn burlap sackcloth rests over its face, which is little more than 2 holes for glowing red eyes and a mouth of rows and rows of jagged metal teeth, secured around its neck by a rope which carries 3 keys. Okay, this is really cool, getting the full details of his appearance. A mass of red-tinged shadows grow from various points along Fiddlestick's body, one large growth emerging from its back, and the rest occasionally forming extra arms for Fiddlesticks, of which it already has 3 metal ones made of rusted scrap. One of these arms is connected to its body by a saw blade, which emerges from its shoulder. Okay, so he technically has 3 arms, okay. At the center of Fiddlestick's torso is a cage which houses the true essence of Fiddlesticks, as the body itself is merely puppeted around by the essence within the cage. Inside the cage is a shifting cloud of red eyes and shadowed forms from which its crows sprout. However, this is the only appearance of the Demacian incarnation of Fiddlesticks. While the red-black mass of crows which makes up the essence of Fiddlesticks remains constant, the body which carries it changes based on the trash around it. For example, in the Freljord, Fiddlesticks is known to be made up of helmets, bucklers, wood, and furs. Oh, that's very... Okay, so this is another case of kind of like Kindred, where with Kindred, aren't we getting the Freljordian version of Kindred, technically? And here, we're getting the Demacian version of what Fiddlesticks would look like, or does look like, in that region. Personality. What are we gonna get here? Fiddlesticks is a creature of pure emotional instinct that doesn't understand the form it takes or the words it repeats, who is created from the formless negative energy endemic to all life. Abilities. Demon physiology. Fiddlesticks is a demon, a malevolent spirit that feeds from human emotions. It has no physical form and cannot be harmed by physical weapons unless it has magical properties. Each demon is linked to a specific emotion. In this case, Fiddlesticks feeds from fear and horrors. Emotional feeding. Like other demons, Fiddlesticks nourishes itself from a specific emotion, in its case, fear. By absorbing the fear that it causes, Fiddlesticks can sustain itself for prolonged periods of time. Fiddlesticks instinctively knows one's fears. So it's a little bit like Pennywise, right? Isn't like, spoilers for the newer It movies, isn't the weakness of Pennywise is being afraid of it, but once you're not afraid of him anymore, he becomes like a really small little thing, and That's how you destroy Pennywise, right? So Fiddlesticks is almost the same kind of concept. Immortality. So long as fear exists, Fiddlesticks will exist in some form. Yeah. Demonic magic. Fiddlesticks has within itself a massive amount of dark power that allows it to perform many terrible feats of dark magic. It can summon constructs that look and behave almost alive, such as crows and copies of itself, that will last until it chooses to let them unmake themselves. It could shift space to appear or disappear at will, like when it massacred an entire family inside their house without opening any of the doors or windows. Yeah, that's like an insane ability. So we saw a little bit of this with the, the really scary cinematic where it can basically, construct a little copy of itself and then like disappear and shift around. Yeah. All right, what are we going to have for relations? Probably nothing. Though not directly equals, Fiddlesticks is still directly related to the other demons currently on Runeterra, such as Evelyn, Tom Kench, Nocturne, Raum, and the demon that Swain is allied with. Okay, well, Raum. So we've reacted to Evelyn. That was a really good reaction if you guys want to check that out. We haven't done Tom Kench yet, Nocturne either. I know Nocturne is a little bit older, so we're going to wait till he gets reworked. Tom Kench is probably a little bit newer, so I could probably do a Tom Kench reaction. We just haven't gotten to him yet. Along with this, Fiddlestick's incomprehensibly ancient age may be the reason as to why it is the only champion to refer to Kindred's original name, referring to them as the Gray Man. Yeah, because Fiddlesticks has like to be one of the oldest things ever, right? And then Zoe. Zoe at some point took a key from Fiddlesticks. It is unknown what this key does, but one story as to Fiddlesticks' origin is a Targonian legend that tells how a child of Twilight stole the only joy from a ragged whispering horror. It's very interesting that we don't get a direct thing from Riot on this. So like when Zoe first came out, did she have that key? And did like people basically, do their Sherlock Holmes stuff and was like, oh, hey, look, that looks like the key that Fiddlesticks had. And now like Fiddlesticks has one less key or something, right? Is that what people did? Or how do we know for sure? Or is it just pretty much deduced upon? All right, of course, the fandom doesn't have too much for him. We have the little trivia here. So there's the older version. I'm going to read the older version because I feel like the older version, or no, the Harbinger of Doom's down here, but the older version, we'll still look at it I feel like it'll still kind of like coincide with the newer version. We'll see. So for Fiddlesticks, the Ancient Fear, Fiddlesticks is at least 10,000 years old. As noted by its voice, Fiddlesticks preys on fear of any sentient being, but mostly humans. Yeah, that probably makes sense. I mean, there's probably, animals can have fear too, but it probably doesn't feed him much, right? Fiddlesticks has no words of its own, instead repeating things it has heard or things that have been spoken to its victims as can be implied by its voice lines. Oh man, I'm excited to get into more of the voice lines for him. The 10 kings mentioned in its lines and color story are 10 primordial demons that predate the demons in the game, like Evelyn and Tom Kench, and are much more powerful. While it is said to not have a crown on its head like the rest of the 10, the keys it keeps may potentially form one. Right, so when I reacted to Necrot's demon video, Fiddlesticks is considered one of the 10, or like we think he is or something, right? And Evelyn and Tom Kench and Nocturne are like a little bit lower demons. I really want to get more demon stuff from Riot. And I mean, I feel like we might get more of it in the MMO, but we might not, actually. Fiddlestick's champion theme is an in-universe folk song about it, with the rhythm implying it was sung by some of its victims. Yeah, okay, very cool. Fiddlestick's body is made up of whatever is lying around. It frequently swaps pieces of its body and can't be killed by ordinary means. The current version of Fiddlestick's body is made out of stuff the demon found around Goldweald. Okay, so that's what I think the story was that we read, the Goldweald city or village or whatever. All right, what does it say for the Harbinger of Doom? It says, even though Fiddlesticks is said to use a scythe, he uses a sickle in game. That can't be true. Does he use a scythe now? Okay, in his old lore, the key around Fiddlestick's neck was owned by a Zaunite summoner named Istvan, who performed some perverse ritual that caused him to manifest Fiddlesticks. The key unlocked the door to Istvan's summoning tower, which he spent quite a lot of time in seclusion inside. Okay, so that here, right here with the key is no longer current lore, so that we can pretty much ignore. All right, that was fun, guys, but let's finally get into the voice lines on Legends of Runeterra and then the voice lines in League of Legends. Okay, guys, so sad news. I didn't know that Fiddlesticks is totally not in Legends of Runeterra as far as I can tell, so we're not going to get any voice lines for Legends of Runeterra, but we do still have the special interactions. Now, if you're here for the Fiddlesticks voice lines reaction, we've already reacted to just his voice lines. That's how we kind of got into Fiddlesticks and learned about him. Way back like 6 months ago. I'll do a little thing in the top right of the video if you want to go check out the voice lines video, but we're going to just do his special interactions here and hopefully have some good stuff. So I'm excited. Let's go.
You just understand me, meme robot, and horrible tiny child.
Okay, so he's speaking. So that was Fiddlesticks and Surprise Party. Okay, so now we got regular Fiddlesticks here. But Surprise Party can talk? Okay.
I'm always here, my little hero.
Why is he interacting with Nunu? I know nothing about Nunu. So, all right.
What the hell are you supposed to be? Nobody ordered a cake. Get out. Kiss me, fat man.
Who is Gragas? Who is that?
Nice key you got there, Twilight.
Oh.
Didn't steal it from someone dangerous, did you?
Okay, so that pretty much confirms it when I asked about the key when we were looking at the fandom. Okay.
Hello, little girl. Not afraid of clowns, are you?
Oh, man, dude, the delivery on the word clowns, I got to hear it again. It was so good. That's so much. This is pretty much Pennywise. This is a Pennywise voice.
Not afraid of clowns, are you?
That's so good.
Hello, little boy. Are you afraid of clowns?
Oh, dude, that is so scary.
Help me.
Oh.
Help me. Help me.
Oh, dude. That's so scary. Dude, no. I don't like it. I do not like the way he said that.
Evelyn.
Oh? Okay, just says their name.
Karen, brother, please don't hate me.
Is he? That's Lux. He's trying to be like Lux.
Jinx, all your fault. All your fault.
Okay, so some of these I did hear I can remember even 6 months ago. We listened to that in the Voicelines video, right? I forget why we're saying all Jinx's fault. So remind me on that one. Gray Man. Yep.
Little light.
So scary.
Sarah.
Dude, the tongue.
Nocturne.
Okay. What do we have to say about Nocturne? Nothing, just his name. So he says the other demons by their names, which is interesting.
Guilty. Guilty.
Yep, we understand that one.
Stars.
Okay, you guys let me know about the Soraka thing there. Why is he saying stars about Soraka?
Raoul.
Okay, Raum. Yep, of course, right, just saying their names.
Vanis.
Vanis.
Don't hurt her.
Wait a minute. Okay, I've done a reaction to Silas. Very good reaction, and he was a cool character, but who's Vanis? I can't recall.
Tom Kench.
All right. Tom Kench is just a weird looking demon, in my opinion.
Vane, give us a smile.
Okay, is that referencing something? That's really scary.
How could you betray us?
That's messed up, Fiddlesticks. All right, Pentakill with Surprise Party.
That was a total clown fiesta. I love it.
I don't know how I feel about the clown version talking.
The scarecrow
Like
took
that.
them all.
I mean, it's scary, though.
Nobody left but me.
Okay, so he's talking about the puppet that he took in third person. He's saying the scarecrow took them all. Nobody left but me. Interesting. Killing Zoe.
Well, I think it's time to bring joy back into the world.
Ah, and that's in reference to Zoe taking joy from the key, with the key stuff.
Annie, don't let go.
I almost feel like I need to do an Annie reaction, but I know a lot of her stuff is old, right?
I don't need.
All right, that's Evelyn's, emotion thing that she feeds on.
Demacia.
That's hilarious. Just repeating what Garen says.
Everybody panic.
Is that one of Jinx's lines and he was repeating her voice line?
Tell me a story.
Oh my god, he is totally just repeating their voice lines back at them. And that's what Wolf would say for Kindred.
Little light, little light.
Oh man, the voice is insane.
Hide, Sarah. Hide.
Well, I do have to ask, did they get the same voice actor to do the surprise party version?
Nightmares.
Okay, same thing with what he did for Evelyn, Agony.
I'll save you.
Oh.
What is broken can be reforged.
Dude, he's just repeating what they say.
Stars, hear me.
Okay, so Soraka must commune with the stars or something.
Secrets.
I really like that he's saying the actual demon version, like what they are.
Share and share alike.
Share and share alike.
Addiction.
I don't know what that Silas one was. An addiction for Tom.
The dark should fear me.
I'm assuming that's a Vayne voice line.
Follow
The winds, yep, of course.
Oh, Tucker down.
I almost was like, wait, because it switched to the clown
Too
version.
much excitement.
Dude, the surprise party's too scary.
It's just a joke.
I'm glad I didn't choose that for my top favorite
The world
kids.
will
It's too
never know
much.
a greater clown than you. Here's
That was
the
a good-
nose and rainbow wig.
that was a
You
good joke.
earned 'em. Who's the clown now?
Yeah, these are really good. Those are good.
I had a blast. Let's do it again next year. Well, were you surprised?
Oh man, these clown ones are good.
What a party it was. Careful with those birthdays. Too many can kill you.
Okay, back to regular. Monsters.
Just a story.
Just a story.
So afraid.
Interesting.
It's still out there.
Right, he's saying voice lines of like the last words that some of these people would say.
You're not real. Fiddle.
Oh,
Stay.
yeah, the way he says his name is crazy. Just breathing now.
Unless you've got some deeply creative clown puns,
Oh.
I'm not interested.
Confused at the joke.
Yeah, hunt the demon clown. That always works out great.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Afraid?
Okay, respawn.
That wasn't funny. I'm not laughing anymore.
Now he's mad.
This is the part where things get a little dark.
I like the animation for the respawn on the clown.
Not dead.
Oh, you see the demon go back into the cage there. That's very cool.
And so
I like that animation as well. He said his own name there, really.
send in the clown.
Send in the clown.
Let's get this surprise party started.
I mean, I gotta admit, the surprise party clowns voice lines are very good.
Hey there, kids.
So I would have switched my
Say
skins
hello to
based
your
on the voice lines.
pal, Fiddlesticks.
It's too good. It's too scary. Dude, he's breathing like a smoker.
It's hunting us. It knows what we're afraid of.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I did not like the whistling. The whistling was really weird.
Soon we'll have enough clowns for a circus.
Okay, placing an effigy.
Tell me if you see anything.
He's just talking to it.
Be a dummy, dummy.
Don't be a dummy,
People
dummy.
love finding clowns in the dark.
No.
Remember to say surprise. I've got 50 more in the clown car.
That's good.
Like looking in a mirror. You're on thin ice, Mr. Giggles.
Mr. Giggles. Dude, these are so good. The laugh, too.
Hey there, wanna party?
Initiate jungle
Could use
camp.
a light snack?
He's feeding on the creatures. Do the monster mash. I like that one.
Make some lovely gift bags.
Oh, that's messed up.
Give me those party favors. Clowns, their only weakness.
Dude, you know, I don't know how I feel about clowns. I might be
There's
50-50.
only room for one monster out
Like,
here.
I'm kind of scared, but I don't think I am.
These monsters just aren't up to par.
Whoa, the way he freaking... Oh, that joke was so good, but the way he delivered it was even better.
Welcome to the party. Now toy.
Now die. Oh my
You
god.
know, it's the laughter that keeps me going. And the screams.
And the screams. Okay,
Must
surprise
have
party,
caught
Fiddlesticks.
something.
Holy crap.
I've been feeling a little funny lately.
These are so dang
The
good.
special birthday key. Everybody, now that's what I like
Dude.
to hear. I haven't got a brain, and soon neither will anyone else.
I can't. And I just noticed his weapon,
It's
too.
the most fun in the park when laughing in the dark.
Oh, he's rhyming.
Clowning is an art.
Clowning is an art.
I take very seriously. The laughter never dies. It's real. It's strong. And it's my friend.
So the clown really talks about
Is it a
laughter in his
demon,
voice lines.
Or is it a clown? Let's try a lot of both.
Man.
I used to think life was a comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's a horror show. The
That's a
worst
little bit of the opposite of the most recent Joker movie. Joaquin Phoenix says he used to think his life was a tragedy, but now he thinks it's a comedy. That's interesting.
part of clowning.
No life insurance. Like clowning is his job.
Above the rotten
All right, now a regular Fiddlestick.
cloth and metal teeth and crows.
High above the rotten rows, meaning his own teeth, cloth and metal, teeth and crows. Okay.
Fiddlesticks and of men. Fiddlesticks.
First of 10. Okay, there's another reference to the 10 demons, right? But we're thinking not Evelyn, Tom Kench, and Nocturne in them. We're thinking they're lower ones.
Through the field, down the lane, voices never heard again.
That's just like a poem. That's tale.
Once upon a time, once upon a time.
Man, the
They
delivery.
haven't come back from the field.
Ah.
It's been 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming to help.
Oh,
Where
no.
are you? I can't see you. I can't see you.
Yeah, okay, so you notice the two different versions of I Can't See You there.
Fiddlesticks is just a feeble.
Can you imagine thinking that?
story to scare children.
And then actually seeing Fiddlesticks? The laugh. Yo, Fiddlesticks needs to be in like a horror movie. They need to do a Fiddlesticks horror movie. I don't know what else to say. All right, these were fantastic, and the surprise party special interactions were also fantastic. I'm glad we got those with this, because otherwise the video would have been kind of cut in half. It would have been half as long as it currently is. So yeah, we reacted to the voice lines, and some of these were featured in here, but there was obviously a little bit more, I think, or different ones in the other video that we watched. But man, was the surprise party one like a standout for me. I need to know if it's the same voice actor. If it's the same voice actor, they are freaking crazy good at their job. So what I noticed with the surprise party version is, you know, I mean, obviously it's a little bit different to talk about that version, but he loves laughter. He loves talking about laughter. You know, he did a lot of the party jokes, like an actual clown coming to a party. I thought they were all good. I had a blast. Let's do it again. Like that kind of stuff, right? Very, very, very good. The animation for his respawn with the cake, also very top notch in my opinion. I think I got to change my top 3 skins and put surprise party in there, and maybe take out the, like the Praetorian one that I added in there, the more recent skin, because this one is just top notch because of the voice lines. Like I have to put surprise party in there. I don't know if we really learned anything new from his voice lines here. So I did like the reference that we got with the Zoe and the key. That kind of confirms it. for me. And I didn't realize, like, I thought people in the community just kind of like figured it out, trying to do some investigating about the key. But no, Zoe actually stole a key from Fiddlesticks, and he has 3. So my question is like, in the fandom, there was like, there's a theory that those 3 keys could like create a crown of some sort. So does maybe he doesn't have his crown anymore. I want to know if he's like actually trying to get his key back from Zoe or not, because I mean, I don't know how he could, because Zoe transcends time and whatnot. So there's no way Fiddlesticks is getting to Zoe, in my opinion. And Zoe also doesn't seem like a fearful character, right? Again, of course, I really loved his interactions with the other characters. You know, with the demons, he just says their names, and then he would also say like what they're the demon of, which is pretty cool that he acknowledges them. It's almost like the Darkins when they talk to the other Darkins, right? They say their name, and then they, you know, they'll talk to them because they can actually talk. Fiddlesticks obviously can't do that, really. I did have some questions about the Soraka ones because we haven't reacted to Soraka. Again, I think the Vayne ones we didn't know anything about. So if there's anything you guys let me know in the comments about those 2, let me know. And then there was the one I totally forget. I think I was told a while ago about the Jinx one, just like all my fault thing. As well as the Annie ones. I guess the Annie ones don't really need any explaining because I kind of know Annie's story, but I don't know if they're referencing anything more specifically. You guys let me know. There is this one for Silas where he says Vanis. What does he say? Vanis? Don't hurt her. Yeah, let me know. Maybe that's when like Silas is a kid and then he's like stopping those Demacian guards from hurting somebody. I don't know if that's what it's referencing. You guys let me know about that one. The Yasuo one, pretty easy to understand. That one was very easy. And then, you know, the ones where he's just repeating after he would kill them, he kind of just repeats some of their voice lines. You guys let me know why. It's odd to me that he has interactions. I guess it wouldn't be odd to me if I knew anything about Nunu and Willump, but it's kind of odd to me that he has an interaction with Nunu. He has like a couple in here, right? I didn't know any of those either. It's just, I don't know. I don't see these 2 being related in any way. But again, I know nothing about Nunu and Willump. We will have to get to them at some point. I don't know if they're a little bit newer or older, if they have like full voice lines and things like that. So hopefully they have all of that when we get to react to them. Yeah, guys, I mean, I have to say it again, like Fiddlesticks, just 100% one of the best voice line characters in all of League of Legends, in my opinion. There have been many good voice lines that we reacted to, but this is super unique. The delivery of the voice actor, because I remember being told by you guys in the comments a long time ago, the voice actor there's nothing done to his voice like in post or anything like that. This is the voice actor doing the voice like this. So very insane. His throat must hurt after doing a session of Fiddlesticks lines. I want more. I really want them to add more, and I'm hoping maybe when he gets added to Legends of Runeterra, they'll do more voice lines for him, because that would be perfect. I want those like ASAP, honestly. A lot of the trash talk from the surprise party version of Fiddlesticks, it's interesting that they made him just talk normal, but I guess it kind of like, I'm not complaining about it, I guess is what I'm saying. I think it's nice. I think it works really well. Again, he reminds me of Pennywise with a lot of his voice lines. He does a lot of trash talk, which is really funny. I've got 50 more in the clown car with this. Like, there's a lot of really good clown jokes and just funny jokes for his character with the clown version. And yeah, I'm not complaining about them making it so he can actually talk instead of just like repeating what, you know, the people he's killed can say. I hate to say it though, guys. So after this whole reaction, I don't know if I really learned much more. I mean, I got to read the biography, so I learned about the mage summoned him, or some, you know, mysterious mage we don't know about summoned him. So I did learn that. You know, I guess I did also learn that he kind of came about more recently because of all the fear in the Demacian, you know, region of Runeterra. That makes sense to me. You know, it confirmed a little bit more with the Zoe and the key and things like that. The story kind of just showed like what he does to take over a village of people fearing mages and things like that. He just feeds on the people in the Demacian hinterlands. I don't know if he will ever go into an actual major city. I don't know how that would work, but I feel like he could wreak havoc in a major city like Demacia, in my opinion. But, you know, it doesn't matter that we didn't really learn too much more about his character. I think it was really fun to do these interactions, especially, and then taking a look at his skins and all that stuff. So, you know, these reactions are always a good time, even though we didn't learn too much more about his character. All the little information we do learn from these reactions are great. You know, I'll carry them into the future reactions with other demons and things like that whenever we get to those other demons. and just, you know, learning more about Runeterra and all the champions that you guys love to play in your game League of Legends, because you guys know I don't play the game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the reaction. I'd appreciate your like on the video. It does help the YouTube algorithm. And if you liked this video, consider subscribing to the channel. We do have a ton of other reactions you can go ahead and check out on the channel. Please let me know in the comments who you think I should react to next. I have a few ideas, but I'm currently not really leaning any certain way right now. We're kind of just, you know, taking a stab at any of them and just picking that one and just going on with it. So let me know in the comments, you know, what you liked about the video. Let me know who I should react to next and stuff like that. I'll see you guys in the next reaction. Take care. Bye.